welcome to my channel.
Honestly. Hey, Uncle Kenny! Football! Hey, yeah!
If you're new here, my name is Cedric. I'm an actor, a filmmaker, a screenwriter, and a YouTube reactor. And this is a special recommendation. This is a recommendation from Kyla, who lives in Orlando, Florida. And Kyla is a YouTube subscriber of mine who I met at a Starbucks and who asked if I could do this video. So Kyla, it was so wonderful to meet you. Here you go. I've actually been wanting to see this for a long time. It's a minor sin that I haven't as a filmmaker. This is Taylor Swift's All Too Well, the short film. I have no expectations going in other than a full confession, which is like, I graduated from high school in 2013. So it was in this era where it was like super cool to be like a guy and not like Taylor Swift. And I'm just like embarrassed by how much joy I missed out on by having to hide the fact that I like Taylor Swift songs like I always did. It was coming out of her country era where like Teardrops on My Guitar, Tim McGraw, all of those songs, which were great. Every one of them. Love Song, a banger. It's so good. And then she started doing more pop stuff and it was still really good. Bad Blood, great song. I'm on blood thinners. I get it. That's a sad joke. But she's great. So I'm excited to check this out. I believe this was her directing debut. She is going to be directing a feature. So I'm excited to see where this begins. I've checked out other people's kind of directing beginnings, particularly Jungkook from BTS and his Golden Closet films and how that led to Life Goes On, etc. So it's a little bit chilly today, so I hope you don't mind my scarf. It seemed to fit the Taylor Swift vibe. I thought about a cardigan, but I like this scarf. So here we are. So Taylor Swift, All Too Well. I'm not sure what to expect. If you're new to my channel, here's what you should expect from me. I'm going to pause it. Normally I'm going to talk about production design. I'm going to talk about shot structure. I'm going to talk about editing. I'm going to talk about acting, framing, everything. So this is not just going to be me watching it and, you know, going, oh, wow, I really like that. That's not what I do here. I analyze, I do enjoy it. I let you know if I'm liking it. I almost always like it. But if you're just looking for someone to watch the video, you have come to the wrong place. So I need you to know that ahead of time. Before we jump in, I want to say thank you to my patrons on Patreon. Thank you as always for your support for my auditions, my screenwriting, my filmmaking, my everything that I have to do. Thank you so much for your support. And to all of you who have watched The Corner's Assistant here on YouTube, thank you so much for your support. If you haven't seen it, there's links to the episodes in the comments and in the description of this video, as well as the Grounders trailer, Coco, which is a movie that I'm in, and a number of other projects. You can always, I try to keep you up to date as things are going on. You can always look up projects that I'm in on IMDb and some other places if you wanted to check those out. I always appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Now let's jump in. This is Taylor Swift, All Too Well. Love is so short, forgetting is so long. You right, Pablo. With the use of sound design to set the scene immediately.
Are you for real?
Oh shoot, that's right. Sadie Sink and Dylan O'Brien.
I don't know, I just feel like maybe I made you up.
Very green and orange heavy color scheme here, makes sense. I like the aspect ratio choice. Nice pan around. Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna first just state an assumption that I have, which is that Taylor Swift is not the cinematographer of this. I'm gonna look up who it is probably after the video. But usually when you're directing, you know, with your cinematographer, you've come up with a plan on how to shoot the scenes. Often you want to get kind of a basic coverage for things. Now, we haven't had a lot of dialogue in that opening frame. We just had an overhead shot where we weren't going to get basic coverage, but you want to get a wide, a 2-shot, single shots, maybe shoulder shots, but that's called a basic coverage package. It just means that you have all the angles you need to be able to cut around and see what's going on. So far, something that is extremely well done is a couple things here, right? Visual storytelling is key in filmmaking. So not saying everything. Obviously, we have the song going and we hear that, oh, the scarf's been left here at the house, but that's setting something up. This is Chekhov's scarf, if you will. I'm glad I did wear a scarf. Chekhov's scarf, because I'm guessing that scarf is coming back later on in the film. Maybe a breakup, something like that we're gonna see. The camera is kind of floating, it's roving. We call it a floating camera. So it's on a steady cam. So it's kind of just moving around throughout the space, and it lets us feel like we're in this space with them. We're sitting in the back seat with them. We're looking in the rearview mirror to see her reaction. We're walking through the woods with them. Another option would be to do handheld, but I love the idea of it just floating through here. I like that it's on a steady cam. I like the way it flows. I like the way it feels like we are being swept up in their love, in this romance. I think that that's really compelling. It seems like it was probably shot on, I'm guessing they used an RE Flex camera and some sort of probably prime lenses, but I think it's shot on film, very much so. It's very much the film look. You can emulate that, and with today's technology, like, I'm never gonna say for sure, oh, this was shot on film. Like Spielberg's The Fabelmans was obviously shot on film, but like Dune was shot digitally and then converted to film and then converted back. So it's the film look. And it definitely has that vibe, which makes it feel nostalgic, which makes it feel romantic, which makes it feel like love. And it's wonderful then to be able to float the camera through and give the actors the freedom. And I'll say as an actor, I love it when I'm told, no, we'll just move with you, with the camera, because it gives the actors the freedom to just live in that space and live freely together as the characters and have that chemistry and be spontaneous within that space. And that, to me, is like the ultimate playing dress up and using your imagination. So far, I'm really, really loving everything about this. Here's another thing, with the camera moving like that, we're seeing that there's not lights. It sells it as real. Really great choice to just have the camera rotating, because again, I talked about getting swept up in that moment. It lets the actors have the freedom to do that. It also means fewer takes, because kissing scenes are really weird, you guys. They're really odd. You know, there's specifics on like, oh, you have to have your face turned this way, like right there. It's like, oh, make sure that you're playing to the camera when it's there. But again, it gave them the freedom to just sort of live in that space, trust each other, which is really important, and just live that out. But it kind of pulls us into this romantic kind of teenage memory of like just wanting to have like these moments, right? Like that's what it was like. So I'm loving everything about it. I love that, you know, obviously Sadie Sink has this bright red hair that's going well with the fall colors that are starting to step in. And then he's got some green on his shirt. So the color schemes here are working. The production design is working. They're using natural light, which again helps us forget that we're watching a movie, and it makes us feel like we're in the space. It's not these hyper stylized shots, hyper stylized lighting. It's allowing everything to function as naturally as possible, which makes, to me, that's always going to be what I defer to as a director. It makes everything ring a little bit more true, and it's working really well. Also, just having two amazing actors like these two. I thought she was pulling something out of his ear at first. Nice tight focus. Uh-oh. God, he is a handsome guy. See, again, so visual storytelling, obviously we have the lyrics going, and it's really nicely edited to match up with the pace of that. But did you notice how the dinner party, we've kind of got this anxious smile from Sadie Sink early on. There's some great acting happening in this scene. Dylan O'Brien's character is very relaxed. He's chill. He's having a good time. She's a little bit more anxious, and so she grabs onto his hand for that little bit of security, and he kind of waves her off. And then here, it's tossed at the ground. And they're tremendous actors. Both of them are wonderful, wonderful actors. And watching them journey through these characters without having to say a word, we don't need the lyrics. Obviously, Taylor Swift is a great singer, a great lyricist, and it's supplementing the thing itself. But because she's a good director, she's able to get these performances out of the actors, and they're able to meet her in that space. We're 3 minutes in. 4 lines have been spoken on camera by the characters, and I feel fully pulled in. And unlike, I actually don't usually like when TV and film use songs with lyrics unless it's a musical. To me, it usually just rings kind of hollow and cheesy. An example of when it wasn't was in The Leftovers in season 2. They used the whole "No one laughs at God at a funeral." That whole song was really good, but for the most part, I don't particularly care for it. But this is just, it's so perfect. It's so intimate. It's so intentional. It's so evocative of, like, I feel like I'm watching memories that are mine, even though they aren't. And it's some amazing work to make it feel that way. Nice tension there. So again, that use of green there in the light.
Why are you so pissed off?
I'm not pissed off. Who said I was pissed off?
Because you're acting pissed off. It's ridiculous. These are my friends. They were super fucking nice to you, too.
No, I liked your friends. I never said I didn't like your friends.
Why
I
were
didn't
you
like the way that you acted around them.
You were being weird and quiet the entire time.
I was not being weird because you wouldn't look at me.
Oh, come on.
You asked me
See
one
again,
thing.
floating camera.
Such bullshit. That's such bullshit.
It's giving them freedom.
Hand. What am I supposed to do with that?
I didn't even notice. What are you talking
I
about?
don't know
dropped your
any
hand.
of these people. They're all strangers. They're all older than me.
But, like, what are you talking
I feel so out of place. You're the only one that makes me
this
feel
about
comfortable.
you.
You won't
I'm
even
like,
look at me.
I'm catching up with.
Yeah, so we've got some sort of softbox lamp that's playing above them that's filling their face, but it's allowing them to have shadows under their eyes. So whoever the cinematographer is, I want to applaud you, because so many people, I get on so many sets where they want everything to look so perfect. And, oh, we can't have shadow anywhere, and we have to see everything. No! Real life is ugly! And having these shadows here in her eyes, which a lot of people would fight tooth and nail to remove, it makes it real, and it enhances the performance. She's in a dark place. She's upset. She's mad. We can see her eyes. That's what matters. We need to be able to see her eyes. Anything beyond that, I don't care. This looks great. And using her red with her lipstick, popping that out, she's a little bit flushed, green background, he's in blue. He's at home in this environment. She's the one that stands out, using these color schemes to their advantage. We have this too bright light in the background that's playing a little bit aggressively. They're fighting. The camera's roving. It's floating around. It's letting them act. It's letting them perform. It's not getting full coverage of this fight. It's not using harsh cuts to display emotions. It's just trusting the actors and keeping us at a distance. It's almost like we're watching people fight, right? The way it's going back and forth.
Friends, you're literally saying I dropped your hand. Like, what? I don't even remember the moment that you're talking about. How can you be like attacking me about something I don't even like know? I was doing it subconsciously. I was catching up with people.
Dude, you're making me feel stupid.
Holy shit. I don't think I'm making you feel that way. I think you're making yourself feel that way. Literally a moment that I don't even remember that you're like holding me hostage over. It's insane.
This is making my chest tight.
These are people I haven't seen in like 10 years.
My palms are
And
sweaty.
you just sit there the entire time. It was fun. I actually had a blast. Now this is the night. Now we're doing this. Awesome. So awesome.
You just treated me differently.
What do you mean I treated you differently?
It's a nice
You
sink.
didn't even look at me once.
What are you
Didn't look at me.
talking about? I didn't
Oh,
look
no,
at you.
no,
I'm catching up with my
Oh,
friends.
trust me, they were enthralled by you. Of course, of course.
I'm so you're literally making the entire night about
You didn't even
you.
look at me.
Holy
See now how we're focused on him with the camera a little bit more?
shit. It's
That's back to her.
It's literally like it's so crazy.
Something really powerful about this is that we're not really seeing them, you know, I think something about relationships is, unfortunately, when we love people, we can tend to, when we get mad at them, we can tend to go to the place that's going to hurt the most. Like we know, oh, I know how to dig into this person. And love is kind of a constant choosing to not do that. It's, you know, it's choosing to be kind. And that can be hard. And so we're seeing in this moment, not the person who's lobbing the grenade, not the person who's on the attack. We're seeing the person that's being impacted here with each moment. And I think that that's a really powerful choice. And it's not, I'll be honest, it's not something I would have thought to do. And it is something I am going to put into my own arsenal as a director, as a cinematographer. This is something I'm going to steal, because I would have just gone, well, we have to show that they're the, you know, seeing the impact of the words. That is what is powerful. That is what is painful. That is what is clicking with this. It's a really, really strong choice, and I love it a lot. And doing all this in one take, again, lets the actors keep the flow. So much of film is built in post-production that allowing them to do this, when they nail it, they nailed it. And no amount of editing is going to make it better.
Oh, so
making
you're
it about-
selfish now.
Yes, you're
Selfish
making it
now.
about you're acting. I'm seeing you're acting selfish. Absolutely. Right now, that's exactly what's happening. Don't look at me like that. That's so up.
It's making my stomach hurt.
Hey.
Oh, now we go to shoulder mount.
Come on. I don't want to fight.
Now we're on shoulder mount, a little bit more shaky.
Come on. I'm sorry.
Hard words to say.
I'm sorry.
Hard words to say in a fight.
I'm sorry. I dropped your hand. Come on. Sorry.
And I know it's long gone and there was nothing else I could do. And I forget about you.
I'm so worried about where this is going.
Get who I needed to.
Look at the thoughts racing through her mind there.
Here we are again in the middle of the night.
See how the color palette's different for the kitchen now? Still orange though. Orange and red, that color of passion, that feeling of passion.
I just want to point out with that caption that I just added the difference between a lyric and dialogue. Dialogue has to be grounded in reality. So saying that line, you kept me like a secret, but I kept you like an oath, that doesn't work as dialogue. It works as a lyric. And so her writing of the dialogue versus her writing of the lyrics shows her strength as a writer because she's able to live in both worlds. Anyway.
It's a real strength in showing the little intimate moments like hands being held. Nice framing. Okay, so let's talk about blocking for a second here. So she comes in, kisses his head. There's sort of this sacred moment of sort of bowing over him and then kneeling before him, lowering herself to even being below him because she can tell something's up. And there's sort of this sacrificial aspect of love to doing that. And then whatever he says there, and I love that we don't get to hear it, but it's great blocking because sometimes when you're in these highly emotional spaces, you can even intellectually go, don't get mad, don't get mad. And you just can't help it. You just blow up, right? You get mad, and that's human. It is what it is. And Sadie Sink's performance, again, not being too big for the camera, which is an easy thing to do. It's not theatrical. It's still film. And she knows that the lens is pretty tight on her, so she's not moving a lot. It's just enough, and it's all in her eyes to get mad. But we stay on her now because, again, talking about the impact of things, she's clearly the one talking here, but she's still the one that's been impacted. I don't know if he said we're breaking up. I don't know if he said I ran over your cat. Whatever he said has sparked this response from her, and it feels pretty deserved if this is her response. But notice how from there, she's no longer below him. She stands up. She's over him. She's evoking the same kissing of his head, except now it's aggressive. Now it's angry. And so using these images, which is what film is, it's just a series of images. Even when they were sitting there and the bookcase was behind them, we're seeing something between them. There's stuff between them. There's lines. There's mess between them. So we're still living in that space. We're still using this green and orange and blue kind of scheme, except now it's a little bit darker. Now there's a little bit more of this tension that exists between them. And to have seen them argue and then see them deeply in love and then back to this, just there's a very natural flow to this that is exciting to watch, but also hurts to watch. Like, we all have memories like this, right? So it's really, really well done. Ignoring a call. What a line. Casually cruel in the name of being honest. Okay, so again, it's not for me.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me.
So again, talking about when she's at the dinner party and how that framing, and we could see kind of her anxiety. Now we're bouncing back and forth between close-ups and wides, but wherever she is in the frame, she's closed in. We only see her in gaps. We see her over someone's shoulder. We see her in this space where she is lost in this sea of people. And of course, she's going to stand out. They've carefully cast this. They've carefully wardrobed this to make sure she's popping out of frame. But still, it gives us a sense of it being close. This aspect ratio that before was so sweet and open when we were out in the woods. We got used to seeing them in this openness, even an open kitchen. There's an open layout to the apartment. Now it feels very tight. It feels very claustrophobic, and so it's carefully framed. Sadie Sink always making sure she's opened up to the camera, making sure the performance is to the camera, but never hamming it up. She is so believable. I think Sadie Sink is just one of the best actors in the world right now. And Dylan O'Brien too. It's a really well cast. Their chemistry is great, but both of them are such beautiful performers. They're not afraid of not being subtle. I think film acting is embracing subtlety, but not sacrificing it at the altar of realism. You need to be engaged with the present moment and be responding to the circumstances in which you find yourself. And Sadie Sink, who's been kind of the focus of the last 2 or 3 minutes of this, is just excelling at that. She is such a talent. She is magnificent. God, these lyrics. Now she's seeing all these other women. Nice matching cut. Oh, this is so sad. The reeling. Seeing the mess of her apartment, reminding us of that opening overhead shot. Nice. Good matching cut. Going from cool to warm tones. So we're only seeing part of her in the reflection. There it is. Chekhov's scarf. I just want to comment on, now that we're seeing both of them reliving this, one of them moving a lot, the other one much more structured in her space. She's staying right there. He's, moving through life. But still, something that's really important to me about this is that, so far at least, and I could be wrong ultimately, but so far, neither of them did anything wrong. It just didn't work out. And even though there is a sense of betrayal on her part, these things happen. And that to me is what's most painful. It's not like, maybe he did, maybe whatever, but maybe he cheated. There's a couple of things that have kind of been implied a little bit, but I like that she's leaving it open to your imagination, because anybody that's gone through a painful breakup can relate to this. Anybody. It's like, okay, if he cheated, that's different. If he ran over her cat, that's different. Got in a fist fight with her mother, that's different. By keeping it ambiguous, it allows us to bring our own memories into this memory that they are creating, that they are living in. And that is some really, really powerful storytelling, because I'm sitting here just like thinking about the crying on my bed and all of this stuff. And like, it also makes me think about like the other side of that and who I've, maybe done that to. And that is also like a painful thing to come to realize. And I wonder if we're going to see that from him as well. But this is beautiful storytelling, and it's a simple story. It's not reinventing the wheel. Everyone wants to tell original stories, and that's important, but it's the characters in the story and their circumstances that make it original. This kind of story will always work because everybody's been there. So it's so good. Great, now we get to fall in love with them again. Dang. Nice low angle on it. Yeah, you remember all of it, not just the happy times. Yeah, we just see her leaving the reflection. That's a nice apartment. Boy, that's well done, huh? Even the string lights function as a memory. Oh, I see outside. Ah! Yeah! The scarf! Ah! was. Taylor Swift directed the heck out of this. We'll see who the DP was. Dylan O'Brien, Taylor Swift. Rena Yang. Rena, amazing. Really, really good work. I just, the use of color, the use of camera movement to fill in the subtext of the actors, to enhance the actors' performance. It's just, I mean, it's everything that you really look for in a short in particular. I'm just gonna keep talking as the credits go here. Absolutely, give her a feature. Absolutely, absolutely. That was really well directed. A big part of directing is getting out of the actor's way. Kind of give the blocking, but as long as you've kind of worked with them up to that point and everybody's got an understanding of it, you're getting what you want. This is such a great start for her directing. Shot on Kodak. Okay, Kodak 35mm. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I don't know what more needs to be said beyond what I said, but it was excellent, and I'm so excited for her feature, and it's always such a treat getting to see Dylan O'Brien and Sadie Sink just have the time of their lives. They're such excellent actors, and wow. That was way better than I was expecting, and I was expecting it to be good. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please drink lots of water, take care of yourselves, get lots of sleep, and fix your postures. And until next time, please be well.